All right, moving on to the next game. We're going to talk Packers Colts. This one, man, credit to the Packers on this one. 16-10 win over the Colts. I don't think anyone really expected this, especially with Jordan Love being out. Um, just just I think this game really came down to Green Bay's dominance on the ground and their ability to step up without Jordan Love. Tough injury. We'll see how long he's out. I think could have been potentially devastating. Could have been season ending. Not just for for Jordan Love, but for the Packers. Meaning like without Jordan Love, what do they do? What other options do they have? But Malik Willis, took the reins and did I think exactly what he needed. Right. He didn't try to do too much. He played smart football. Leaned on that run game. Wasn't like people were going to expect him to be Aaron Rodgers back there and put up a lot of like yards or I don't think we needed him to even be the Lamar Jackson and rush for a lot too, right? I think leaning on Josh Jacobs, right? Right, that's the game plan, right? Like 261 yards rushing, that old school ground and pound style. That I think that set the tone early. And when Green Bay rushed for what they rushed for 164 yards in the first quarter alone, I'm a little surprised that the Patriots, or not, sorry, Patriots, the Colts didn't really anticipate that. Like, I don't know what they thought would happen, right? Like, you don't have Jordan Love, right? Josh Jacobs is clearly their designated number one to you know lead the charge in the run game, and you didn't. I don't know. It just didn't seem like they were ready for that. It was very weird, very, very, very awkward, or not awkward, but just interesting that they wouldn't assume. I don't know that they just defended the way they did, right? And but going back to Willis, you look back and he was efficient, right? I think he hit key passes when it mattered. 39 yarder, that was a great 39 yarder to Romeo Dobbs, set up that field goal. I think though, right? Everyone talks about games are one of the trenches. I thought the Packers' offensive line performed really well. They controlled the line of scrimmage all day. I thought that like if Green Bay can keep running like this, they'll be able to kind of just like weather the storm a little bit until Love comes back, right? And maybe he doesn't need to rush his return. He doesn't have to rush his recovery, and so that's kind of good news for Packers fans. Now on the flip side, I mean Colts, they couldn't get anything going until late, right? Anthony Richardson, incredible game last week, but and he showed some flashes here and there, I think, this week, but with especially with his mobility, but he made rookie mistakes. I thought two costly interceptions. And you look at someone like Jonathan Taylor, had a few solid runs, but they just couldn't. They didn't find like rhythm until that fourth quarter, right? And by that point, a little too late. Missed 50-yard field goal in the third quarter. Kind of missed a chance to kind of make it a little bit of a closer game. Which, by the way, like I want to just touch on that real quickly. It seems like every team now, like all the kickers, are just expected to make like 50-yard field goals. I don't know like what happened. I mean, kickers have become just like they can launch that thing, and it's interesting now that like it's no longer a dead play, right? To have you know to have your field position be like 50 yards out, field goal, 50-yard field goal. So that's been something that's very very seen more frequently now in especially this season. I think recently, but like I think defensively, the Colts, they made some big plays. They forced a fumble from Jacobs at the goal line. That one, like big play, but again, they couldn't stop overall the Packers run game, right? And you're not going to win a lot of games when you give up over 160 rushing yards in the first quarter alone. That's just, I don't know, like again, like when they were scheming for this game, like what did they think was going to happen, right? I think that to me was the shocking part of it all. But at the end of the day, I think for me, this game showed that like the Packers can win tough games, right? Even without Jordan Love and being able to just stick to their game plan, play again a tough, gritty, one in the trenches style of play. I think there is some hope for Packers fans while they wait for Jordan Love to return. I don't think Malik Willis is the answer long term, but who knows? I mean, if they're winning games, you just got to roll with who's winning, right? On the other side of it with the Colts, I think Anthony Richardson, fan of him, incredible, incredible athlete, incredible QB, but I also think that they have to fix, their on their end just these defensive mistakes, and they have to start clicking more frequently and consistently and finding that rhythm in their offense to kind of really be a threat consistently from game to game. But it's still, again, very early, but I think like just Colts had a chance to really dominate this game, and then I just don't think they went into it with the right game plan at all. But credit to the Packers; they were able to pull this one off.